Good afternoon. Although we are continuing to have those warm, dry, sunny days here in the Palmetto State, it looks again as though rain may once more be heading our direction. A cold front, which reached today from a low in Canada, across, down through a low between the Nevada and Utah border and into southern California, brought a few light showers to the Pacific Northwest and to the northern Rockies today. And another cold front, which began as a low in the Great Lakes and stretched all the way down into southwestern Texas, brought a great deal of thunderstorm and shower activity into the Great Lakes region and the lower Mississippi Valley, with extremely heavy rainfall being reported in Louisiana. This cold front, along with a low pressure system in the Gulf, is expected to move into South Carolina tomorrow, making rain and some thunder showers extremely likely for us. If we look now at the radar weather map, we'll see that there are a few clouds scattered, but generally just the normal ground clutter around Columbia and Charlotte. Currently in Florence, under the sunny skies, we have a temperature of 93 degrees and a humidity of only 20%. The winds are northeasterly at 6 miles an hour, and the barometer reads 29.84, but it is falling slowly. Our overnight low was a mild 54 degrees, and the high for today is our current reading of 93. There has been, of course, no rainfall thus far this month, and our totals remain well below normal for the year. Sunrise tomorrow morning will be at 6:25, with sunset tomorrow evening at 8:07. Both of the Carolinas are generally warm and sunny this afternoon, and once again Florence is the hot spot. We find Columbia reporting 89, Charleston 87, Myrtle Beach 76, Wilmington 72, Asheville 79, and Charlotte partly cloudy with 85. The lake winds are from the west to southwest at 5 to 10 knots, and the coastal winds are also westerly to southwesterly at 15 knots. The skies in the PD will become increasingly cloudy tonight, with a low around 60 and a 10% chance of rain during the night. Wednesday will be mostly cloudy, with a high in the low 80s and a 60% chance of precipitation. Farmers can expect only 2 to 4 hours of sunshine tomorrow and no dew in the morning. Fast drying will continue with the lowest humidity around 40%. Total rainfall tomorrow should average, however, only about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Our winner for today in the Color the Weather contest is 8.5-year-old Hillary Van Zant of Lumberton, North Carolina. Hillary must have been sitting outside enjoying the Carolina sunshine as she drew her picture, since it's an exact replica of all the beautiful days we've been having here. She even threw in a couple of birds to the scene. Congratulations, Hillary. You're now eligible for the grand prize and will soon receive a certificate for a free McDonald's Happy Meal in the mail. Well, do carry your umbrellas with you tomorrow and keep your fingers crossed that maybe this time that rain really is going to reach us here in the PD. I know the farmers could really need it, and it might not be too bad to have a little change from this dry, hot weather. John?
Okay, thanks, Penny. Back with more news in just a moment.
Over 1 million South Carolinians are protected by the one that works. Put your benefits to work for your business. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of South Carolina. Let's talk.
The angry little boy with a running nose.
Now, for the first time on television, you can have the best of James Cleveland.
In the ghetto, help me to hold out.
The best of James Cleveland for just $7.98. 8-track tape, just $9.98.
To order, call 1-800-621-5559 or write P.O. Box F15, Florence, South Carolina, 29501.
I'm Marine Corporal Jeff Hulliger. Today's Marine Corps can give you job skills training and a lot more. Pride, discipline, and respect come with the title. For me and for a lot of young people, Being part of the Marine Corps' tough traditions is just as important as learning a job skill. Check out the Marines. Call this toll-free number today.
In the second part of her series, Religion in the 80s, The Power and the Glory, Jeannie Griffin looks into ministers on television and the gathering their programs seem to attract.
Is the space shuttle's future? Will it be our greatest military weapon? These stories and more on this edition of the 700 Club. Now, here's your host, Pat Roberts.
This is one of several religious shows broadcast every day on television. It attracts many viewers and broaches many subjects ranging from religion to politics. That wide range of subjects at the same time causes some controversy. But television is one way many ministers and evangelists use to get their message across. Some people feel that message is many times part of another money-making venture for the evangelist.
Help us now by sending your contribution so we can continue producing and distributing these hard-hitting messages. Send your contributions to Operation Breakthrough, CBN,
There's always been Elmer Gantries, and there always will be.
63.
But
do it now and play on.
I don't have any real problem with that. We're having James Robinson here in our church soon, and Jerry Falwell has been here on several occasions. They don't really take a lot of money from our church. I think where people are attending a church that is alive and it has an exciting program, that they can see the need and they put their money there for the most part. I think a lot of the criticism of the television evangelist really is much ado about nothing.
But whether or not there is objection to the use or value of these shows, they seem to thrive. The hosts are often well-known speakers in demand across the world, and the shows themselves are, indeed, moneymakers. That's our look at religion on television. Tomorrow we'll look at the legislative decisions and how the moral majority may affect them. Jeannie Griffin reporting for Religion in the 80s on PD 15 News.
Summer registration for continuing education courses at Florence Darlington Technical College began today. The registration period is scheduled to last through Thursday, May 7th. Those courses include short-term health, business, industrial trades, engineering, technology, and personal interest studies. Anyone interested in finding out more may do so by simply calling the college. A former policeman from Hartsville, David Gene Calder, changed his plea this morning and pleaded guilty. Calder was suspended in January after being indicted on charges of obstruction of justice, conspiracy to obstruct justice, and accepting a bribe. The charges were the result of an alleged attempt to fix a traffic ticket. Sentencing will take place at a later date. In North Carolina, a group from Cumberland County called Pro-Family Forum wants the County Board of Education to take a second look at several textbooks. Textbooks, the group says, are what it calls non-Christian and anti-American. Aerial applicators, more commonly referred to as crop dusters, met in Sumter today to ready themselves for the farming season. They were from all over South Carolina and came to attend a seminar sponsored by Clemson and the South Carolina Aerial Application Association. Jeannie Griffin also attended and has this report.
All valued at over $75,000 each took turns at aerial applications here at the Sumter Municipal Airport. The purpose? To help the contracting pilots align their planes for fertilization, sowing, and spreading insecticides this spring. Jack Ross of Darlington, president of the State Applicators Association, said consultants at the seminar were meeting one-on-one with the pilots after they made test runs using colored dye.
This is a clinic so that each one can have their aircraft tested across these papers that are laying on the ground to see what type pattern they're putting out, the size micron droplets that they're putting out, and the drift, to control drift so that they apply the chemicals to the target crop instead of just haphazardly throwing them all over the area.
Applicators cover around 12 acres a minute. That's no surprise if you consider their flying speed is over 120 miles an hour. In South Carolina, agriculture is a billion-dollar industry, and while irrigation and environmental conditions dominate the outcome of a crop, aerial application, or crop dusting, is a scientific help for hundreds of hopeful farmers. Reporting from Sumter, this is Jeannie Griffin for PD 15 News.
I guess the Boston Celtics are about as high as those airplanes are, and Fitch's job, I would imagine, is to get them down to play some basketball tonight.
Right. I'm going to ask you, as a Boston fan, is it going to be tough to come down to play a team that was not even a 500 team during the regular season, but has played so well in the playoffs? Do you think Boston will have trouble with that?
It'll be interesting. I don't believe Houston's won at Boston as far as the playoffs are concerned, and they've got a phenomenal record against Houston. But it's playoff time, and anything can happen.
Anything has happened already, I think, especially in the Western Conference. It'll be interesting. That gets underway tonight. We'll talk about it and have more on sports coming up next.
We're celebrating our 26th anniversary at Quality TV, and there's never been a better time to buy a Curtis Mathis TV, a video recorder. I'm Henry Lewis. From our 12-inch color to our 60-inch color screens, plus the finest video recorders in the market. Every set purchased during the month of May, we're giving 4 years free labor with Curtis Mathis 4-year parts warranty. You can buy with no money down and no payments till August. Now that's a deal you can't afford to pass up. Come see us at Quality TV on the Florence-Darlington Highway in Darling.
I wrote a popular Italian cookbook, so I'm often asked, how do you make a really good homemade spaghetti sauce when you don't have a lot of time? It's simple with Chef Boyardee. First saute garlic and onions in olive oil. Then add the thick, rich taste of Chef Boyardee spaghetti sauce. Chef Boyardee is already simmered with lots of lean, juicy beef to give it that thick, rich taste. Mmm, delicious. Homemade is simple when you start with the thick, rich taste of Chef Boyardee spaghetti sauce. Already simmered.